Today's list is my top 10 favorite horror film endings. Spoiler alert, because no shit. The ending scenes of some films last for 15 minutes. Others are 10 seconds of a slow-mo canoe tipping. The definition of an ending scene is whatever the f*** I say it is. Some of these entries are lengthy with meaning, while the rest kick denim on the nuts and ask any and all naysayers to suck it. Whatever, I don't need rules for my lists. The movie Carrie showed us how all good horror films end. Nightmare on Elm Street didn't understand. Wes Craven assumed that the gravesite jazz hands of Carrie could be reproduced with a fog machine and a mannequin. Watching that lookalike dummy of Nancy's mom get dragged through that 6-inch window in that pristine dream sequence is comedy gold. Gold, I tell ya! Honorable mention because this belongs in no top 10. M. Night Shyamalan peaked with this 4-hour slog and then promptly forgot how to movie good. Now, to his credit, this film is so boring it took me 3 attempts to get to the end. As this beast was coming to a close, I was sitting there, dumb as a box of rocks. When the wife drops the ring, Bruce Willis mounts the stairs, he flips out, and my one thought was, did I miss something? I literally had to skip back to the scene before to realize what just happened. And let me tell you, if you have to rewind to understand something, it is twice as shocking to also realize how dumb you are. Dramatic irony at its finest. Not sure if I know what that means. Anyways, when Buffalo Bill opens that door and Jodie Foster is just standing there, I was convinced she was going to be putting lotion in the basket. But of course, the thousands of screaming insects implied this man probably kept prisoners in a well somewhere. If you haven't seen this movie, shame on you. Also, go see it. 99 out of 100 times, I want my horror film heroes to die from a minimum of a baker's dozen chainsaws. So the fact that I love this movie's ending means my brain has a blood clot somewhere. When Woody Harrelson separates to go do Woody Harrelson things, and the Lex Luthor tries to save the women by shooting buttons, I was afraid for them all. And then none of them die. Yay! Yes! Yay! I should see a doctor. This film is okay at best, but it does have the single greatest still shot of any horror film. At the end, when they go into that cave, or forest, or bog, no one f***ing remembers. The group approaches with their flashlights and their courage. The light strikes 2 lovebirds, their limbs entwined, their lips locked. JK, she's being eaten. I think I paused it. Or rewound it? This scene is ridiculously literal and needed a different image than an unhooked demon jaw. Anyways, what it was comedy gold. Gold, I tell ya! I've already talked about this bro comedy classic, but the ending is just what? There's like a human sacrifice scene that's broken up by a group of friendly college dudes. Good for them, but obviously sacrifices don't happen willy-nilly. Yeah, they die for it. But the part that freaked me the f*** out was when they're fleeing out of the house. The windows and doors had become like these mouths opening and closing while hands were reaching up from the walls to grab them. Freaky, 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 and all on a low budget. This film gets a gold star. Gold, I tell ya! Underrated classic alert. If you thought Mike Myers and Pennywise were scary, well you should get a load of their self-orphaning love child in Halloween 4. The film ends with a sweet little shit stomper brutally murdering her mother while Donald Pleasence is left screaming about the fact that he now has to appear in another sequel. I could go on, but you won't see this movie. It's Halloween 4 for f***'s sake. We all know you can't top the shark jumping storyline of 3. I do find it strange though that after the success of Halloween 1 and Halloween 2, the producers were like, f*** money, let's wing it. I'll be quick about this one because this movie is going to appear on a lot of future lists. When this movie's ending starts, you know what you're seeing cannot be real. You know it cannot end this happy. And surprise, it doesn't. Turns out when you remodel the bedrooms with 6 little shits while snacking on a bottle of Zoloft, you think corpses just call you mama. And just to clarify, this is the orphanage, not the orphan, you tattered peasant. Your wife's head. This film could have had a dud ending and still been great, but just like those psychotic felines, Brad Pitt could not leave that box alone. This film's critical reviews are so glorious that most people watch convinced they're not going to watch the aftermath of a bladed strap-on. Seven is also the film that led the great actor/writer Leigh Whannell to ask, "But did you ever think about adding a saw?" And then he asked it 8 more times. The fact that Carrie Elwes' character was a doctor totally undercuts the fact that neither prisoner noticed that Jigsaw was breathing. But no are given once Hello Zep starts playing. As the one remaining Deuce stares drop-jawed, nameless as far as I can remember, his lines forgotten like the severed calf muscle in the corner, our geriatric killer rises up slower than I can possibly express and utters total nonsense in the direction of a tub of water. Imagery at its finest. I'm glad Leigh went all saw 7 and ripped it off. Is that how you say his name? Is that how you say his name? I'm mispronouncing his name, aren't I? I'm glad Leigh went all saw 7 and ripped it off, even if he did it 8 more times. Yes, I know, tanks are hard to miss, but your factual points are getting me off topic. All great horror films end with the same vibe. There is no hope. Depressing dramas are different because their endings show at least a glimmering chance of hope. Even Requiem for a Dream achieves a happy resolution for each character still rocking 4 limbs. Well, The Mist creates the most hopeless of all endings, and then it shoots it. After Thomas Jane goes on the laziest killing spree ever written, fate punishes him by filming an army recruitment commercial on his son's grave. The rest of the film is Mr. Jane just shout grunting until the credits roll. Easily my favorite horror film ending.